everybody, Trevor here, and welcome back to another episode of Wooden Railway Month. Last time we talked about the worst of the worst, and right now we'll be discussing my top 10 best classic wooden railway items in history. For this list, just like in the last video, I'll only include those that were released from 1992 all the way to early 2017. Also, even though there are a lot of candidates to choose from, but I'm only going to pick 10, otherwise the video itself will be way too long. Now without wasting any more time and money, let's get this video chugging. Number 10. The Sodor Railway Repair. This one is quite rare. First of all, I love the design of it, and the fact that he has glasses on, just like Whiff. The Sodor Railway Repair's real purpose on the railway was to clean ballast on the tracks, not necessarily to repair things. But the reason he's so low on the list is because, for one thing, he made a brief cameo appearance in the Small Railway Engines book. Secondly, the problem with these non-televised characters is that they don't sell very well, mainly because they only appeared in the books. And furthermore, the extra chute on the cab ledge of the character can easily be misplaced, not to mention that his prototype model name reads Sodor Chain Load Undercut. I wonder why they changed that. But other than those things, I still think it's a really neat model. If I were to give it a name, I'd name it Baxter, since that name and Ballast both start with a B. Number 9. Aydah, Jane, and Mabel. When it comes to the Scarloy Railway, these are few of the coaches released in wooden form, along with the green passenger coach from the Rheneas and the Roller Coaster set. I love these models because of their unique design, though I kinda wish they made the seats possible for the human figures to fit in, but oh well. I also kinda wish they were televised along with Korra. Number 8. The 2015 reissue of Kaldi. Last non-televised character to appear on the list. What makes this model better than the previous two is that not only his proportions are correct, but also they added a number 4 at the back of his cab. Not to mention that they moved the rear face in a lower spot, just like in the books. Number 7. The original Stepney from the 1990s. Stepney is one of my favorite Thomas characters based on a real-life locomotive. Not only his personality is very likable, but is also one of the very few engines to be saved by the Bluebell Railway. The strange thing is, in real life, Stepney was saved by the Bluebell Railway staff, not Rusty, which is why Rusty to the Rescue is one of my least favorite classic episodes. In addition, if there's one thing I regret not adding in the last video, it would be Stepney's 2003 model, which makes him look hideous. I'd stick with the 90s version instead because it looks more accurate to the TV series than the new one. Number 6. The original Thomas. I first got the 1997 version of Thomas when it was included in the original Figure 8 set with Annie and Clarabelle. This set was also one of my birthday presents back in the late 90s. What makes this model better than most of his later ones is his cheeky face, because like Stepney's original model, it feels more accurate to the TV series than his 2003 counterpart. This is the only regular Thomas I'm keeping from now on because of its nostalgic feel. Number 5. The Water Tower. In my opinion, this is better than the water refilling tank back in the early 90s because it has an action arm that can lower the water as you push it down. And it doesn't matter which water tower you have, whether it be the original 1999 version or the 2013 re-release. What matters is the quality of the item. And I think all versions of this model are the best, and that's why it's one of my favorite smaller destinations in the Thomas Wooden Railway line. Besides, the problem with the original water refilling tank is that it comes apart easily, and I was expecting a little peg in the tower part to keep the barrel in place. But oh well, beggars can't be choosers. Number 4. The Percy Takes the Plunge story set. When it comes to sets based on a classic episode, this would have to be my most favorite one for a number of reasons I'm about to explain. First of all, I love the additional Thomas Comes to Breakfast accessory pack that came with the breakaway buffers, even though the original Percy Takes the Plunge episode didn't have the station master's house. Secondly, it's nice that we got 2 gray troublesome trucks instead of 1. By the way, I have 3 total. In addition, It does make sense to add the Solar Bay Lighthouse since it takes place at the seaside. Not to mention that the breakdown train was there to help lift Percy back onto the rails. But the coolest thing of all would have to be the exclusive danger sign, which warns engines to not go past it. Oh, and one more thing. This set even includes a pop up book of the episode, which you can read and reenact the episode at the same time. Number 3. The 2016 reintroduction of Bertram. This model of Bertram is a huge improvement over the previous version because of an additional tender. However, there's one small problem. He still has that old cab he had in the previous model from 2000. But that's okay because all I care about is that he now has a tender. Just like in the show. Number 2. The original Flying Scotsman of 1999. As much as I love the 2013 reissue of the character, I still consider the original 1999 version to be more nostalgic for a couple of reasons. 1. His face looks smaller than his reintroduction model. 2. He has wooden bogies instead of plastic, and even though I didn't mind the plastic bogies for the most part, but I like the sound the wooden bogies make on the original Flying Scotsman. Oh, and did you know that Roy Wilson said that this model along with the Solar Railway Repair are his favorite items? I guess you do learn something new every day sometimes. Overall, this is an excellent model, and I highly recommend it to anyone who's a fan of the real Flying Scotsman. Before I get to my number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. The coal station. I was going to include this on the list because of how cool it looks, but unfortunately, I don't have it yet, so that's why it didn't make it. The mountain tunnel. Like the coal station, I don't have this one either. However, I do have the gold mine version of it from 2006. The barrel loader. I was going to include this, but I decided to pick the water tower instead because of how realistic it looks. But still, I think the barrel loader is cool too. The Sora log loader. It would have been number 1. The stop and go station. Again, it got beat out by the water tower, but I still think it's a cool destination nonetheless. The Renaissance and the roller coaster set. I don't have this set unfortunately, so that's why I didn't include it. And the number 1 best classic wooden railway item of all time is the Sawmill with Dumping Depot. When it comes to wooden railway destinations in general, or just those that involve lumber yards, this had to be the absolute best classic wooden railway model in the entire range. What's cool about this is that when you move the train onto the green track, you push down the switch to make the log car dump the sawmill log, and when it lands at the right spot, you push the lever forward to make the log split into 2. And when it does that, the buzzsaw makes a loud, realistic sound as the log gets closer to it. There are also a couple additional track connectors at the very end, which lets other engines collect the split pieces of log. I'm so proud my dad got me this destination years ago. In fact, I had so much fun playing with this toy, and I also think it's better than the Tidmouth Timber Yard destination in terms of size. Overall, I highly recommend this item if you are a classic Thomas Wooden Railway fan, though it is rare now and quite expensive on eBay. Now let me know in the comments section on which classic wooden railway toys are your favorite. Do you like them all like I do? Do you agree with my list? Or do you have your own personal preference? Before I go, I just want to say a couple of things. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving this year, because I know I have. And furthermore, join me in next time where I'll be talking about the best Christmas Thomas episodes in the entire TV series. This is Trevor Davis, signing off.